Welcome, everybody. Today's podcast is going to be about vegetal biology, where I actually came across a video where I sent to Dr. Parviz regarding plants and the feelings they have, and to the point that they actually know the color of our shirts. How is this possible, Dr. Parviz? And welcome to another week of our podcast.
It's an amazing topic. I was just talking to you about this. We never knew how smart is the nature. Now the science is advancing, and scientists are capable of measuring more information about the truth around us. It's absolutely incredible. I watched that video. It's fascinating. They say the plants not only could feel our presence close to them, but they can detect the color of our shirt, and they don't even have an eye. There's more into that. For example, they have personalities. They behave in a certain way. It all goes back to 1962, early 1960s, when a polygram specialist named Clive Baxter was training the NYPD, the New York Police Department, how to use these technologies at the time, polygram machines, the lie detector machines. They work based on many different specific, let's say, varieties by checking very tiny little electrical changes within our body, voltage, amperage, checking the blood pressure, pupils, and a lot of other information come together for a specialist to understand if the person is lying or not.
Interesting.
One day, when he was working in his office the whole night and waiting for his colleagues to come back around 7 a.m., in their office, which was in the New York Times Square area. I read the book. It says, I was looking through the window to the street, and then I turned back and I saw the plant that I had recently purchased, a plant with long leaves called Drosera plant. He suddenly thought, okay, let me connect these electrodes of my machine to a leaf of this plant to see if the plants could actually show the electrical reaction as the humans do. He did that, and there you go. The electrical current started to be recorded. He realized, wow, they do have that electrical response as well. But
crazy.
Because of the cellular wall, these lines of borders on the paper was kind of dentational because of the cellulose, which is resist against flow of electricity. Then when the plant was still remained connected to his machine and the electricity was measured, he realized that he hadn't been watering that plant since he purchased it. So he goes back to the kitchen, comes back with a pitcher of water. Then suddenly he sees that the plant has been showing this electrical signals related to joy and happiness. He got shocked. Wow. Is it possible, he asked, is it possible that the plants are feeling our intention? So he realizes that I have to test it again. Of course, he goes back to one of his colleagues' desk who smoked to grab a box of matches. He had the intention to burn one of the leaves. By the time he was back, the plant was showing intensive signals related to fear. So this experiment turned his life around. He decided to dedicate his entire life after that into understanding how the nature works. Yes, that is true. Plants could feel our intention. Later on, he expanded his work and experimentations checking the food in the fridge, because the food in our fridge is alive. The egg is alive, the yogurt is alive. And then he realized when a person walks into the house, they project their emotional feeling into everything. So if I walk into my house and I am angry at something, immediately that anger is picked up and is recorded by every piece of food in my fridge.
Wow.
This is all measured electrically, so nobody can say, okay, this is his imagination. No, it's electrical currents, like electrocardiogram on the paper, yeah?
It's amazing, as we talk about often, that now is a time where everything is measured. So we cannot just say, oh, it's someone's made up story, but it's really out there. And from years past, I know my grandparents used to say that if you talk to your plant, it means that you have a green thumb and your plant will show the love back to you. It flourishes. So we knew that there was some connection, but I think we didn't know the exact way or method.
That's
correct?
Really interesting. Yes, but how? At the physical level, when I want to talk to you when you're traveling an American city, I have no choice but to call you. I need a device to connect us. But when you are here and your son is studying abroad, all it takes for you to get connected to him in a fraction of a second, as soon as you close your eyes and you feel him, you're connected. So this experiment and whatever that I just told you proves that, number one, nature or creation is conscious. Things are aware. Number two, everything remains connected at all time, even if physically they're separated. Number three, energy signals always present in this magnificently large universe, not only in the universal scale, at any scale, even subatomic scale. So energy is constantly there, and energy is information, and matter reacts to information, because matter by itself cannot keep its configuration or determine its action. Information is required to guide this piece of matter into certain shape and certain behavior. And also, we are affecting everything around us, whether we were aware of it or not. And at the same time, we are being affected by everything around us. You see? Yes. So this is a soup of creation which keeps everything in connection, and every action, every decision, every behavior of every single individual is changing the outcome of everything else. So that means we are the creator. Now, how is it possible? How is it possible to understand this? The answer lies within the principle of quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Early in 1920s, the scientists, the physicists, realized that when they look at a little electron that is being thrown by a machine, like a bullet from a gun, they see a tiny little piece of matter, and it behaves like a piece of matter. The moment they stop looking at it, it disappears and turns into waves of possibilities. Now they can manifest or collapse into any possibilities. Not just Dr. Leila or Dr. Parviz. It could be anything at the same time. So, number two, they also realize that the particles are conscious, as if they know when they are being watched, because the act of observation changed the nature or the behavior of the particles from waves to matter or vice versa. So not only it did that, but also it proves the duality that exists in everything. Like the photons are the same too. They could be particles, they could be waves at the same time. And they also realized that when they cut an electron or a photon in half and they separate these two halves, regardless of the distance that they keep them away from each other, could be the other half in the other room, in the same building, or the other side of planet Earth. The moment that the first half is reacting to some sort of a specific stimulus in a certain way, the other half goes through the exact same reaction instantly at the same time. But it could be plus and minus, it means up and down, but exactly the same thing.
That's incredible.
So they remain connected. You see, this is called quantum entanglement. So there is no accident in life. Life is conscious and is watching. Yeah? So we are the creators, and the creation around us is definitely a lot larger than whatever we could see, measure, touch, or even perceive. These are the truth that quantum physics has been proving it since early 1900.
So is it true that then if we really want to get to this level of consciousness, we have to become a nobody? We have to not be Dr. Parviz and Dr. Leila.
Now you're stepping into the philosophy
I know,
of life.
it is. Yeah? It's true though, right? To be able to really reach to this point and not, put ourselves as in one box.
That's exactly true. That means that this kind of new knowledge is capable of improving the human understanding. That means it is elevating you with the knowledge that you have. The more knowledgeable we are about understanding the truth, the more illuminating we become. We start producing
100%.
light because we understand the truth more than before. And because we understand it and we act upon it, hopefully, we become the source of light, or we get closer to the source of light. Because earlier I mentioned that all these things prove that there's no accident, because everything is conscious. In the world of consciousness, there is no randomness. We thought it was an accident.
So when
We
they say this
follow
life is
specific
chaos, what does that mean then?
You see, we go through a specific experiences in every moment of our life, and those chaos is to push us to open our eyes to learn something new. If there was no chaos, if everything was in a complete state of balance, it would be the point of singularity. It would be the moment just before the Big Bang. Yeah, everything was in a constant state of balance. There was no wave. This is the meaning of the real zero. Is not nothingness, is everything in it. Minus 1 plus 1, minus 10 plus 10, minus infinite plus infinite. So everything exists in that point. We thought it was zero. Zero meant
Bravo.
nothing. There is no nothingness, because if you empty the space from every possible particle, still is full of constantly vibrating waves of energy that resembles the energy that comes out of a heart of a person who's madly in love. So love is the fabric of the space, is the fabric of the creation. And that's true.
Yes.
Because if you look at the concept of God in every possible way,
Right.
you see that God is gracious. It gives. It never stops a criminal from enjoying the food because they commit crimes.
Right.
It will not judge. Who could do that in our life? It's only a loving mother.
Yeah.
It's only a loving mother or a father who has learned to show
The biggest sacrifice is
could-
love.
could give without any expectations to receive.
Correct.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is it. If you understand this, if you understand that we are constantly supported based on 100% love, no judgment from the Creator, because a lot of people are afraid that they're going to be punished by God. Is not true. They're going to be
Correct.
punished with the action that we do, the bad result of that, not the God. And we realize that this consciousness into anything, and the goal of our life is not random. My presence in this life is not random. I'm here to do something. Then therefore, we start acting better. We start
Yes.
becoming calmer. We start forgiving things faster. We start reducing our expectation to keep our balance.
Yes.
As a father in my family, I cannot go there and ask for more and more. I'm going to create imbalances. Therefore, I won't be able to keep the family that I have.
Right.
To keep it, I need to become a mother. I need to give. And reduce my expectation. This is how a
True.
beautiful family is created, and everybody remains happy, even though we don't receive everything that we need.
Absolutely. And back to our original conversation, it's really easy to kind of sidetrack, but this is beautiful talk. Regarding vegetation, some people might be looking at this and they say, okay, then if that's the case, they have feelings. So that's why I became a vegetable eater rather than beef eater or chicken eater. But I believe, before asking you, that this is how life should be. We are here, and this is the pyramid of life, and we have to eat. What is your take on that?
Exactly. That's a very good point. A lot of people, even though they want or they need to consume animal protein, they refuse that because they say the animal has to be killed and slaughtered for that. We actually kill and slaughter the plants too. And they
Right.
scream. They become really afraid when they feel our intention that we are going there to pull them out of the root. Think about what they go through. But we shouldn't think like this. Remember, everything is connected. Without being nourished, how could our body survive? Plus, how much could a piece of vegetable understand the truth about the world? It's just at that own level, very little. How much could an animal understand? Much more, because the animal can walk, go through different environment, experience different things more
True.
than the plants, okay? How much a human can perceive? Oh my God, it's not even
Much more,
comparable,
yeah.
yeah? What happens when we eat food, whether it is vegetables or animal-based food? You consume them, you digest them, you absorb them.
The energy.
Those particles become a part of you. Now, every little particle that used to experience life in a body of a plant or an animal starts experiencing life in a body of Dr. Leila Hariri. It becomes a human. So you actually improve the vibration of that particle by making them becoming human.
Interesting.
You see?
Yes.
At the same time, it serves you. Now, you could bless your food before you eat. You could make sure that you don't waste it. You could make sure that you respect it. You could
True.
make sure that you understand this food has traveled all the way to become a part of you. It was not meant to be eaten by me. It came for you, the same as any drop of water that you drink. It has come for you. It hasn't come for me.
It has a reason, a
Yeah?
purpose.
Exactly. To nourish you, to give you the ability to be able to continue and thrive, to understand more, and to become more knowledgeable about the truth of the creation, not the reality as we see.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parviz. I hope you all enjoyed this episode as much as I did.
It's a pleasure. I do enjoy it too when I share this knowledge that I'm learning with anybody. This has become a concept of our medicine as well, an interactive medical behavior, so that it's based on respect, love, and positive intention.
Brilliant. Have a beautiful week, everyone. Stay healthy, stay safe. Until next time.